Gemini, if you've been feeling that a major transformation is unfolding behind the scenes, this message is for you. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to your August monthly tarot reading. If you're new to the channel, welcome to Universal Wisdom Tarot. And if you're returning, thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, take a quick second to click that subscribe button. It's free and it's a great way to support the channel. This month is about powerful change, deeper self-awareness, and trusting that the endings occurring now are clearing the way for something much better. Stick around and let's see what the cards reveal. Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the month of August. Just a reminder that these are not personal one-to-one readings. They are for a collective. They're general intuitive readings. Just want to put that out there. So remember to only take what resonates. I have already asked for blessings for this reading, so let's just get the cards out and let's see what's going on. Gemini, interesting cards on the table here. You have in your main messages the High Priestess, the Star, the Two of Pentacles, the Judgment. As your theme of the month, you have Death. Death is the card of transformation. So, the question I'd have for you is, is this the transformation you've been waiting for in the month of August? Definitely something is changing. I feel like something is quite life-changing here, particularly because of the High Priestess, the Star, the Judgment card. And it's interesting because in your clarifiers, you have 4 court cards out of 8 clarifiers with the Wheel of Fortune, which is great. And that is clarifying the Star card. So something here feels quite life-changing to me. And, maybe this is what you've been waiting for. Maybe this is the change that you've been looking for, the transformation that you've been hoping for. Let's start here. A month, as I said, of transformation. And for transformation to occur, it means a month of endings. But with every ending comes a new beginning. And I feel for you that whatever this ending is, not only is it a new beginning, but a powerful new beginning. All right. So I feel something is changing at a very deep level for you. Okay. For some of you, it will be your mindset. Okay. Enough of that is what I'm hearing. Enough of that. That is what you're saying to yourself. Okay. So for others of you, it may actually be a type of relationship, and it doesn't need to be a love relationship. It's just because there are a lot of court cards on this table, and it could be that the relationships that you are changing are people and, deciding that there are people in your life that are just not helpful to you, whether they're business partners or whether they're people that you work with and you've had enough of that, or people that you hang out with and you spend time with after in your, when you go out on weekends and things like that. And maybe that does not feel great for you anymore. That's the change that you might be making as it relates to a relationship. Okay. But it could also be you've decided to change your life direction for some of you. Okay. Maybe you've decided to change your job for others of you. There's just a lot of change going on, and or thoughts of change, being inspired to change and feeling like you're ready to change. Okay. So when we, you know, for change to occur, we have to be ready for it, number one. But while endings, can feel uncomfortable, I feel like this is saying there's all kinds of new promise for you. There's a new promise of renewal there for you. Okay. So a part of this change is your connection to other people, right? And because of those cards, and as you sort of um, pursue what I want to call like transparency with those people. Okay. And finding truth in your relationships is what I also feel. Like maybe you feel like you're just not going to spend time with these so and so because, they take up too much energy. All right. That's what I'm kind of feeling here. You've decided to make some change in terms of the relationships and the connections that you have, or certain people that just no longer cut it for you anymore. Okay, let's start. First week, High Priestess clarified by Six of Cups and the Five of Swords. I feel like this is the first week here says you're having a bit of self-awareness. The High Priestess, our intuition, our gut, brings awareness to us. Okay. And it's in that awareness that we can have sort of this reflective time, this deep reflection. Okay. So the first week here brings you a period of this deep reflection. Okay. Now, as the world moves forward and you're living your life within the world, right? You're called to some kind of explore where, what matters to you, because the world is constantly changing place, right? And you have to figure out that, for me to continue to moving forward with the world, something needs to change here, because it's not either feeling comfortable anymore, but you're being called to kind of delve into that core of your being. And the High Priestess is saying, listen, listen, listen. Okay. And to explore what truly, truly matters. So, I feel like, the first week sort of prompts you to think about the past experiences, and sort of extract the lessons that supported your growth and use those going forward, and to say which of those things did not work for me, because you're looking back and saying to yourself, okay, in the past I spent time with those people, and you know what, every time I was with them it was like a slog, or it was draining me. It was like vampires. I was in the room of vampires. Okay. And that just was too much for me. It was too much. I bit off way too much more than I could chew, and it was just too much. That's the thing maybe that your intuition is telling you need to change. Okay. Everybody's situation will be different. Take it as it resonates. But you're sort of connecting with your inner wisdom in the first week, because something is staring you in the face and saying, do you really want this? This is what the past was. Do you still want to continue with that? Right? Feels kind of heavy. Feels kind of like, maybe not. Okay. You're never going to win every battle. Remember that. So why are you continuing to battle is the question. That maybe that's what you need to change. Okay. So, yeah, connecting to your intuition it sort of sets the stage for your breakthrough. Okay, sets the stage for the change. Okay, definitely some old memories, some old past situation there that can resurface. It could be one of these people is from the past. All right, for some of you that will be the case. Somebody's coming back into your life who maybe you did spend some time with, a lot of time with, from your past or in your past. Could be a family member, could be a relation, could be somebody that just kind of shows up. I feel like somebody sort of from either somebody who's been traveling, perhaps somebody who you know lives far away or has lived far away anyway. I just feel like there's this energy that's coming back into your life and you're going, wait a minute, do I really want that? Because in the past it was work. Maybe that's not what I want so much of now. So that's okay, because it'll be life changing for you when you make the decision to say, I'm maybe not going to spend so much time with that person. Okay. So just to be aware of that. So your intuition is helping you to understand something differently than you understood it before. Okay. So there may be a lesson here for you. Could be a lesson, as I said, about conflict. Could be a lesson of, battles that you've had in the past. It could be a lesson of the ego. Okay. Or just some unresolved emotions that finally sort of become a little bit clearer to you in that first week. We get into the second week, the star clarified by the King of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Your hope is returning in the second week. Star card brings healing and optimism with it. Okay. And I do feel that you're feeling more optimistic because you're seeing the truth in something with that King of Swords. You're seeing the situation objectively. Okay. Destiny is definitely working in your favor. Wheel of Fortune says, you know what? This is the timing. The timing is right for you to see this now. See it objectively now, to see it clearly now, to use your rational mind and your intelligence to decide on how you will address it, to get all of the facts and say, you know what? I'm in command of my destiny with that King of Swords. I am in charge, right? I am going to take care of this. All right. So I feel like sort of the life change or the change, whatever is this life changing thing for you, or just change in general, doesn't have to be life changing. It won't be necessarily life changing for everybody, but I feel like the change becomes very apparent to you sort of by the end of the first half of the month. Okay. And that breakthrough kind of arrives with clarity and perspective. Now, for some of you, this will be related to some kind of strategic approach that you're going to apply to your career and maybe to your finances. Okay. So you're reflecting on your ambitions and you're letting your insights guide you. And they're guiding you toward opportunities that feel more true for you, that have a better purpose for your life. Okay. So there's the breakthrough is possible when you really trust in your own abilities and you remain open to perhaps some collaboration, because again, you do have a number of people on court cards on the table. All right. It's a good time to focus on refining your skills for some of you. Okay. And looking at your professional reputation for others of you. Okay. And financially for some of you, you know you need a little bit, I want to say you're quite hopeful about a change here. This is going to come slowly, little patience there. That's going to reward you with the long term gains. So it's important to prioritize your needs over your wants, okay? Because the Star card, sometimes we can be optimistic about everything, but we also have to be realistic, all right? So we say, what do we need versus what is it that I want to secure some stability for the future? Getting into the third week, we have the Two of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Knight of Wands. This is a busy week for you, okay? You're balancing multiple opportunities, maybe balancing a whole bunch of responsibilities. Both the clarifiers here really tell us that there's confidence and leadership and action that you're taking, and you're quite passionate about it, right? So, the third week isn't about that there's a lack of opportunity. It's about choosing where to focus your energy. Okay. Because you have a lot of plates and balls in the air and you're juggling all of that. Okay. Two of Pentacles, usually the person's that, the figure on the card is standing on one foot. Hard to see that on this card, but definitely these two figures are doing a balancing act. It's like almost replicating yourself in multiple places, right? Saying, if I could clone myself and do all these things, it would be great, but I can't. So, I can't be in every place at every time, everywhere all the time. It's a lot going on. All right. So you're definitely trying to do some balancing act there for sure. Okay. So yeah, you're choosing where to focus your energy. And it could be also that you're choosing where to spend your time with who, because again, there's two court cards right there. Okay. Now, for some of you, when you're making this choice, you're looking at the big picture and saying to yourself, maybe one of those things I should do is give myself a little break and take a little vacation. Okay. For some others of you, you're saying you're shuffling all this stuff and juggling all this stuff and it's very busy, and maybe I need to push myself outside of my comfort zone a little bit because I'm shuffling all this stuff. It's like day to day, like hamster wheel stuff. Okay. So everybody's situation is different. Take it how it resonates. For some of you in this week, I feel like you're thinking about sort of your role in the evolution of your life and your situation. Okay. You're thinking about, where do I fit best? How do I get out of my comfort zone? How do I stop this hamster wheel? All right. So the appreciation that you gain from that understanding or that reflection that you do about where you fit and where you fit best, I feel like, that sort of reinforces your desire to look deeper, being open, very thinking about, how you might um, change things for the better, what this life transformation is about. If we go back to the theme of the month, right? So and how you might, communicate this to whoever you need to communicate it to. Again, remember, trust your intuition, right? Trust that high priestess, because it always leads you to some meaningful changes, right? And it leads you to opportunities, and it sorts out your priorities for you. And it sorts out what priorities are not only more important, but which ones should get more energy. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Fourth week, last week of the month, Judgment clarified by Queen of Cups and Seven of Pentacles, ending the month with your awakening. Judgment is a call. It's a wake-up call. Judgment is a judgment for some people in that it gets rendered legally. All right. But I feel it's like more of a realization about the change, about the life-changing event, about the transformation that you're undergoing, or the transformation you have just undergone, or the transformation you've been waiting for. Okay? So you have a realization. This helps you to understand your path and to understand it much more clearly. Okay? There is emotional wisdom in that Queen of Cups card. Okay? And everything you've invested in, it's leading to something very meaningful. Okay? Because you've put in some investment with that Seven of Pentacles. So I kind of feel like you end the month with more honesty, okay? And an honest dialogue that, maybe with all these court cards here, very honest dialogue, literally having a dialogue with people that helps you to address sort of, any issues about the change that you're making or that you want to make. And it helps to foster some better connections, perhaps, because maybe you're deciding to change who you want in your life, as I said. Okay. And so I feel like you're prioritizing the nurturing of yourself and the bonds with the people that you want to spend more time with, as opposed to the people that you don't. Okay. And finding the relationships that flourish and the ones that feel strong and feel warm and feel better for you. All right, Gemini, let's get you a clarifier. Let's get you an oracle card from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. Additional message, please, for Gemini. What would you like Gemini to know in the month of August? Additional message for Gemini, please. You can't make this stuff up, people. It says change. It says change. What did I say? You are Death card. You're in change. You're in transformation. You really can't make this up. Give me a second. I will get the book and I will read to you what it says. It surprises me every time, and I don't know why it surprises me, because I know that this is what the universe is trying to tell you. And yet it gets clarified deeper and deeper and more. All right. Change always comes bearing new gifts, but they may or may not be what you imagined. At times we are powerless to affect change, as it is the very nature of life itself. Faith is part of the ballast that stabilizes us against unpredictable twists and turns in life and helps us adapt to unforeseen challenges. You are always free to choose how best to handle change, but by seeking out the relevant wisdom it brings, you venture forward joyously with hope in your heart and a spring in your stride. Gorgeous way to end your reading, Gemini. I'll leave it there, and I hope something resonates. Don't forget to click the like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you again soon. Until then, please know I am, as always, wishing you divine light and love.